This really isn't going to be a very long episode of the movie wrap-up. Why? Well, because quite frankly, I haven't actually watched any movies this week, apart from one, which I went to the cinema to go and see. Reason being is because I've been away, and you guys are going to see my time away in the next video, which comes out tomorrow, Monday the 3rd of June 2024 at 4 PM UK time on this very YouTube channel. That is SteveOfficial. Feel free to check it out when it does get released, or feel free to check it out now if you're watching this after the 3rd of June. But I have got one film that I will talk about that I did go and see in the cinema this week, and we are about to find out in the next 10-15 seconds in this video. So without further ado, hello, welcome to the movie wrap-up. Let's get this movie wrap-up video done and out of the way. You're watching Steve's Movie Wrap-Up episode 29. The only movie we're reviewing in this episode is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. So the one and only movie that I have managed to watch this week is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Now this is actually quite a positive review. I gave this movie 4 stars over on Letterboxd. So the quote that I'm going to start this review off is, do you have it in you to make it epic? Is the question that Chris Hemsworth's character Dr. Dementor says to Anya Taylor-Joy's character Furiosa, but deep down we know he was saying this line to the director of this movie, that is George Miller. Now, speaking of the director of this film, I actually just looked at other films he's directed in the past, which includes Babe, Pig in the City. I didn't know that. And also he directed both of the Happy Feet movies, which again, I didn't know that, and I think I've only seen one of those films, which was the original. As for the question that Dr. Dementor says in this movie though, do you have it in you to make it epic? The answer to that question is yes, George Miller did have it in him to make this movie epic. I really enjoyed seeing Chris Hemsworth throughout the movie. The character development of his character was really awesome, as was Furiosa, which I'll dive into in a few moments. But what I loved is that we see Dementus looking slightly young, still being played by Hemsworth, by the way, and then later on in the film we see a time jump and we see Dementus looking slightly more grey and old, again still played by Chris Hemsworth, so that was a nice touch. Furiosa, who was played by Anya Taylor-Joy, was such a great character. She didn't have too much dialogue. I think I went into this with a well-known fact, that is that Anya Taylor-Joy's Furiosa only had 30 minutes worth of dialogue throughout, which, by the way, the movie has a running time of just nearly 2.5 hours, so it's a pretty long movie. I did have to run to the bathroom halfway through the movie for a slight pee break, but I don't think, as far as I'm aware, I missed anything too major while I wasn't in my seat. Anya Taylor-Joy's Furiosa actually comes into this movie sort of halfway through, so expect to see her after the first hour of the story has been told. That's not to say that we don't see Furiosa at the beginning of the movie, because the story is about the character. We see a young Furiosa for the first hour of the film, and then we have the time jump that I mentioned earlier on in the review, and that's when we see Anya Taylor-Joy as the character. But the actress who played the younger version of Furiosa though, I think her name is Aaliyah Brown, I think that's how you pronounce it. I may be wrong. I thought she did a phenomenal job of portraying Furiosa as a young girl, and at times you do feel sorry for her for what she goes through as well. So my hat goes off to that young actress for portraying Furiosa at a young age. Now, I won't say that this movie is phenomenal and perfect. I gave this movie 4 stars because, yes, the movie was great. Yes, I did see this on the biggest screen possible at my local cinema, and yes, I did have a headache after watching this movie because of how loud the speakers were, and because there was a lot of use of motorbikes in this film, which you may have seen a lot of within the trailer, but there is some issues that I did have with the movie. Let me just delve into the positives. Firstly, the set designs I did think were brilliant. The cast members and the story they told of their characters respectively was rather great as well, and it did keep me engaged throughout the running time. But the issue for me that I had with the movie is that at times you did notice when certain scenes were green screened, it was just unfortunately obvious that there were some scenes within this film that were green screened. I think the problem was more when the characters were up close to the camera, more than anything. When the characters were far away, you could hardly tell the difference, but when the characters was directly at the camera, you could just easily tell, yeah, this scene has been green screened. I thought the pacing was great, loved the way how it was able to tell 5 chapters of this story within the running time of the movie, and not be like The Strangers Chapter 1, where it divides it up into 3, or in this case, 5 separate movies. And I also love the music score within this movie as well. I thought the music composer, Tom Holkenborg, did a great job with the music score. Wasn't it intentional that I was watching this on the biggest screen at my local cinema? Well, it was the first showing of the day, and despite how long the film is, I kind of wanted to see this film earlier in the day so that I had the rest of the afternoon to myself. I'm not sure as to whether I would have enjoyed this watching it in another screening or not. I probably would have done, but I would at least recommend seeing this on the biggest screen possible with the loudest speakers possible too. All those times you hear those engines revving up on motorbikes throughout the film, it just feels like your soul is leaving your body with the vibrations that go through it. I should also add that I haven't seen the previous Mad Max film titled Fury Road, but that doesn't really change much because although Furiosa is in that movie from my understanding, but this is a prequel before Fury Road, so therefore I wouldn't say it's necessary to have seen Fury Road to understand this one. There is another Mad Max movie in the works, I believe, titled The Wasteland, so we will get that in the next few years. But for now though, I did enjoy this one a lot, and I think I will check out the other Mad Max movies within this franchise that George Miller has done in the past, because there are currently 4 films within the franchise and Furiosa is the only one that I have seen out of them all. So don't be surprised if I do end up reviewing the others at some point in the future. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, is currently playing right now in cinemas and theatres worldwide. And there we go, that is literally the only film that I've watched this week. I do apologise, but it has been a bit of a busy week. I have been away, understandably, as well, so therefore I've not really had a chance to watch any other movies. Yeah, so unfortunately that was the only film I have seen. I do still need to go and watch the Garfield movie as well, which I'm going to try and go and see maybe later this week or something. I'll see if I can. There is also another couple more movies that are in cinemas, or that will be in cinemas by the end of this upcoming week as well, that I would like to see, including The Watched as well. So I'm going to try and see if I can see that movie within the next week as well. I do know there are some new movies that are out on streaming as well, which I do need to catch up on as well. So hopefully by the time we get to next week's movie wrap-up episode, hopefully there will be a lot more movies for me to review and talk about and stuff. But in the meantime though, I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Let me know in the comment section down below whether you've seen Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, or based on my thoughts and my review on that film, whether you're planning to now go and see it. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give that smash that like button. And if you are new around here, you like what you see, then feel free to hit that subscribe button to become a Stevo. I will be back with your weekly vlog, which is coming up tomorrow at 4 PM UK time here on my YouTube channel. And in that episode, by the way, it is specifically just an episode that is just solely me being with my girlfriend and what we get up to as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as well. But from me for now though, it's goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys again in my next YouTube video.